Hey everybody, my name is Lieutenant Josh Hale, and we are with you in one of my very favorite places called Deer Run Stables here in Richmond, Kentucky. This is our Beyond the Call radio podcast program brought to you by the Richmond Police Department and WBON TV. One of my guests today is one of my favorite people also, Jonna Ryan, the lady that runs this operation out here. We've got 40 horses all over the place around here and about 400 acres that you have access to out here. So we're going to talk about some stuff today that's very near and dear to my heart, and some things that they've been involved with the police department and your community. And then hopefully you can have a better understanding of some of the things that we do and some of the things that Jonna does, and come out and visit with them. So Jonna, thanks for letting us come out and hang out with you today.
I'm so glad that you're here, and thank you for this opportunity. I just wanted to tell everyone that we've been here for 18 years. I'm from Texas, moved here, and love Kentucky. Felt like I just walked into a piece of heaven, knowing horse capital of the world. But for about 20 years, I have studied natural horsemanship, then went into understanding how the horse reacts and how they think and how they feel. About 5 years ago, I started a nonprofit, which is called First Step Recovery Ranch, which really impacted a lot of people with just post-traumatic stress disorders and emotional feelings, things that you carry all day due to just stress, daily stress, family stress, work, life. A lot of people come out here to be in nature and in the environment, which is rare nowadays because a lot of kids and a lot of people tend to be isolated more so in their own little environment on their phones. So this is a whole new setting. Then the more I was with horses, I could see how they made people be more aware of who they are, which is kind of ironic to say because we're like, well, I know who I am, but in reality, you could be carrying a lot of anger, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of negative self-talk, which you don't realize. But then when you're with the horse, all of a sudden you're like, wow, what's going on? Why is this horse not wanting anything to do with me? Why is its ears up and its eyes up high? So I tell the people, well, what you need to do is the horse is telling me and showing me things about you that you might not know. So it's a mirror. It's like they're a mirror of your feelings. Let me just give you an example. We, at Deer Run Stable, we take out trail rides. So a man and his son was about 9, came to the stable, and you could just tell that this man was a businessman. They were on vacation. He was on vacation with his son. And but you could just tell he was just never in the moment. He was always thinking. He was on his phone. He was thinking about something else. So I put him on one of my really great calm horses, but this horse just started jigging and got real agitated. So I told the man to get off, and I put him in the round pen with the horse and had him sit in a chair in the round pen. I said, you're going to be in here for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back, and let me know if that horse ever comes up to you and touches you. So anyway, the man was sitting there, he's tapping his foot, and he's looking so mad, like, why is she making me do this? And the horse is running around him, and finally the man just stops and just focuses on the horse, and all of a sudden the horse went up to him and nuzzled him. And at that point I go in there and I say, okay, now come back out and we'll put you on the horse. And he goes, what was that? And I said, not until you connected with who your soul, who you are, and enjoyed the moment with that horse come to you. And he goes, I could not believe that I live my life, and I do live my life not focusing on the present. And being with my son, I just was there, but I wasn't there. So that's just a good example of how horses react and show who we are.
So you bring people in, or bring out people out here to this beautiful place. And I'm sure we're going to get some great B-roll. You're going to get to see all kinds of photos and pictures of it or whatever, because it's just too pretty out here for us not to show this to you. But you bring people out here, or they come out here and they spend time with the horses, and really they're learning about themselves just as much as they are. And I'm no stranger to that. Of course, I've been, there's a certain horse that I'm very near and dear to my heart, and that I've been thrown from and everything else. So it was my fault. But this is how that you get people out here and what they do for. It's really about them.
It's about them, and my passion is. We all have passion. So my passion is to work with adolescents that are ages between 10 and 17, because at that moment, horses and adolescents have so much in common. I did a study on how horses and adolescents have so much in common that once you pass a test with a horse, you can pass that test with an adolescent. So the way you work with a horse is the same way you would work with an adolescent. First thing is with adolescents, they have 7 things about them. So when you're working with a horse and you tell that horse to do something, you have to be very calm about it. And with an adolescent, so if you're asking this adolescent to do something he doesn't want to do, now this is something they don't want to do, you have to be calm. So then after you're calm, like if you tell them to put their phone away and they start having a tangent, you have to be calm. Same thing with a horse. When you ask him to do a circle and they don't want to and they want to go the opposite direction, you have to stay calm. Then, not only then, you have to be clear about what you want. So I'm going to be clear that I want this horse to go to the right. And same thing with the adolescent. I'm going to be clear that I'm going to be calm and then clear that I want you to put your phone away. I'm going to be clear about it. Once I'm clear and calm and clear, the next thing you have to be with a horse and adolescent is confident. So you have to be confident with what you say. So if you tell them that you need to put the phone away, you're clear, calm, confident, you have to do this with confidence. So you have to mean what you say. So if I tell the horse he has to do 3 laps and I let him do 2 laps, then he's not going to take me serious. If you tell the adolescent to put his phone away and you don't really make him, or he doesn't, he's not going to take you serious. So then once you're confident, you have to give them choices, okay? So with a horse, our choices are move your feet now, okay? They got 2 choices, do it now. It's black or white, there's no gray, okay? Same thing with an adolescent. You need to put your phone away. You need to do it now. There's no gray, all right? So you follow these steps. Then if they don't do that, then there's consequences to it. And then you tell them what the consequences are, and you give them 2 choices. With horses, it's you're going to move your feet a lot. So with adolescents, you give them choices of their consequences, and you let them pick. So this is the hardest thing, I think, for horse people and people that work with adolescents, is to be consistent. You have to be consistent. So if I tell my horse to back up, just shake my finger, back, back, back. If I just always one day hit him hard or didn't be consistent, then he wouldn't understand what I was saying. Same thing with adolescents. You have to be consistent with them. And so if you get all these down, then you get that 100% compassion. That adolescent will look at you as a good leader. He will trust you. He will do stuff from his heart, not because he was forced and manipulated into it. So I work with these kids because they are the same as horses. They have free spirit. They have strong will. They are looking for leadership. They want independence. They just have all these qualities that these horses have.
Well, hold on to that thought, because we're going to take a break for just a second, and then we're going to touch a little bit more on, how we got the juvenile program going.
Okay.
Some of the things that you and I have experienced through all this, and then and we'll kind of maybe bring it back around to maybe how people can help out. Sound good? All right. So my name is Lieutenant Josh Hale. This is Beyond the Call. We are here at Deer Run Stable. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be right back.
Front Porch Realty Team with RE/MAX Elite Realty. 2 dedicated agents who are always on the job. Front Porch Realty Team in your corner means professional photography, cross-platform marketing, and hometown agents who know people come first. Buying or selling? Let Front Porch Realty Team help you find home.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are coming to you from Deer Run Stable here in Richmond, or kind of between Richmond and Lexington. I've got my friend Jonna Ryan here. This is our program Beyond the Call that we bring to you, brought to you by WBON and the Richmond Police Department. Today we're here talking to Jonna just about something that's very near and dear to my heart, horses and cognitive therapy and some of the things that we do with juveniles and different things that just generally help people. And now we're going to talk a little bit about how we got involved with the police department and how it all came about. Before we left and on our break there, we were talking about some of the things that Jonna goes through whenever she brings students in here or kids come in here. And now we're kind of let's just bring it back around to how we got all that involved. I know we have a summer camp program, and we'll talk about that in future episodes as we get closer and closer there. But we bring our summer camp kids out here. But how did we get involved with you with the juveniles and them being bussed out here just to get the program going?
It was a short process. It took a lot of you getting involved. Then I had, who does Dad work with?
We had the CDW's office involved, and then you had DCBS involved,
yeah,
and in Madison County Schools, I know.
Right. So they all came here and looked at the program. I spoke about what I did. Then I went to the court and spoke to the judges and gave them a presentation of how this would help the juveniles, because it is really, really needed in the program for them to have something to do and somewhere to go for them to do community service and to rehabilitate a lot of the mistakes that they've made. So that's how it got started.
So, and it's funny you bring up that. So a lot of times, and even I think a lot of times this escapes even police officers, juveniles are not adult offenders. And so we need to, and I think one of our greatest resources, if not our greatest, is our children. And I think that we need to give them every opportunity to make good decisions and teach them as much as we possibly can. So I know that when I coming out here and working, I think that I had a different view of what I thought was going to happen when I came out here and worked. And I know that I came out here and wanted to ride the horses immediately. And I think a lot of these juveniles, when they've come out here, and these, especially the juvenile offenders that we're trying to help in the process, they kind of have a different viewpoint when they get here about how we're not just going to get on a horse and ride like a cowboy, right?
Right. A lot of juveniles that come out here are afraid of horses. They don't even want to really get near them because they're afraid, but they've been court ordered to come out here. So first of all, they have to learn responsibility. So the first thing I do is I teach them how to feed the horses and how to groom the horses and how to clean up after them and make sure that when they're here that the horses are well taken care of, how to pick their hooves and give them supplements, throw out hay, make sure there's water, the troughs are clean. So they are taught a lot of responsibilities. Then after that, they are taught how to work as a team. A lot of kids that come out here, especially juveniles, they've been fighting with each other. High schools send a lot of the kids here from the CDW program that don't get along with authority figure. They have a hard time dealing with authority. So, I work with customers. They have to understand that authority figure is something that you have to be respectful. So they learn respect with horses. Horses demand respect, they don't ask. So if you were disrespectful to a horse, you could get big kicked. So they learn respect that way. And then a lot of juveniles that come out here have no self-worth. So when they get this 1,200-pound horse to to do something, like get up on a block or get it to lead it somewhere or ride it, then they feel such a 100% accomplishment at that. It's given them like an outlet, like they can do something.
Sure.
You know, a purpose in life. Wow. So I've had a lot of juveniles that worked up in thoroughbred farms. They go to work for them, or they shadow vets, or they become a farrier. So we try to find them other jobs and other outings if they really have this big passion with horses.
But I know from my personal experience with working with you over the years, I mean, we've filmed a documentary here. A guy from South Carolina came and filmed a documentary. So there, you know, you've been doing a lot of good work for a long time. But you know, just working with these juveniles, I have several memories that just I know some of these kids when I was working in the schools, and I know their backgrounds and I know where they come from. So you know, I can see the change that they've been through, and there was one in particular that that really stands out to me. And obviously, we won't mention who it is or anything like that. But involved in it, you know, not from here, but involved in some gang activity in the past and stuff, and paired with a horse named Blackjack. I don't know if Blackjack's still around,
Yeah.
But you know, I'll never forget it because this was a kid that was rough and tough, and you know, hard to control when he came here, and then many lessons later, you know, you and I were here at the same time, and you know, we were working with the kids, and looked over, and you know, and Blackjack and this boy were standing, you know, forehead to forehead, you know, and I just, when I saw that, there was no greater sign of trust to
Right.
me when a horse won't hurt you and won't hit you, and you know, and then this juvenile that comes from a rough background, and they're standing there and just loving on each other.
Yeah.
And you know, and that wasn't the only moment. That was definitely one of the moments that sold me for the program. And so that's why we want to continue to do things like that, because this truly changes people's lives.
Right.
You know, so I guess we can go ahead and ask the question too. How many weeks is the program? You know, what does it entail whenever somebody gets their child involved in this?
So it's an 8-week program. So it's 2 hours a week, and it lasts for 8 weeks. So I am looking for a sponsorship for one child, which is $200 for the 8-week program for one child. And I would like to have at least 8 children to 10 children in the program at one time. And then my ultimate goal is to have 3 days with 8-week programs with 30 kids a week, you know, working. But a lot of my past problem is not having transportation, because a lot of the kids want to come, but the parents won't bring them. So they're calling me saying, I want to come so bad, I want to be with the horse I bonded with, and I don't have a way there. A lot of times the only reason why the kids are here is because they've been forced by the parents or the grandparents to bring them, or they would not have come, or the courts has told them that they have to be here.
So, you know, as we move forward, obviously that's something that we want to help you to accomplish and try to get you, you know, sponsorship, if nothing else, transportation for these kids.
Right.
You know, we've, you know, in the past we've had Madison County Schools has been really great about, you know, getting buses and stuff out here. But when you have kids that come from different locations, it's not even getting here. So, you know, I know that that's one thing that we're going to continue to work on with you. So what do you do whenever the kids finally have earned that chance to get to ride the horses? Does it change their opinion of the horses because they're excited to get to ride?
So whenever they finish this 8-week program and they've finished an assessment that's been done on them before and after, then they become a mentor to other kids. So they teach other kids how to do this. So it gives not only the one that passed the program that self-worth and that self-accomplishment. So like in schools, past will bring their troubled kids here, and the troubled kids will teach on a field trip, they will teach the kids that are A students that are high achievers. These troubled kids will teach these kids how to ride and how to saddle and how to groom. And and the teachers come here and they go, wow, I cannot believe this, because these kids can't even be in a classroom, and they're teaching these high achievers how to do these things, how to be with horses.
Well, I think that just goes to back to what we were talking about a minute ago, how we can't just give up on these kids.
Right.
No matter what, I don't think that there's any such thing as a bad kid, and there may be people that disagree with me, but I think that we have kids that make bad choices, and we have kids that come from bad backgrounds,
Right.
and I think that if they are failing, it's because we have failed them as a society in some way or another.
As a community.
As a community.
Too.
So,
yeah.
because that adage, the old adage that it truly takes a village to raise a child,
Yes.
I mean, is very true.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back to that here in just a second. We're gonna take another break and let us regroup here, and then we will come back and talk about and kind of finish up on how we can all get involved and maybe even get some good photos and stuff of the rest of the grounds. So, my name is Lieutenant Josh Hale. This is Beyond the Call, brought to you by the Richmond Police Department and WBON TV. We will be right back.
Whether you're looking for a mower to take care of your personal yard or wanting the industry's most powerful farm equipment or something in between, Central Equipment has it all. They proudly sell and service quality mowers, tractors, and equipment from John Deere, Cub Cadet, Exmark, Kubota. Still, visit centralequipment.com to learn more.
Ready? Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Lieutenant Josh Hale. I'm with the Richmond Police Department. We are here with our friends from WBON TV at Deer Run Stable here between Richmond and Lexington. I'm with my good friend John Orion. For our last segment, we were just talking about some of the things that we've worked with juveniles in the past and how the police department got involved. Now we're going to tell you a little bit about how you can get involved. John is going to tell you about the program that she has going on now, and then we want you to be able to be a part of this and come out here and see it. We were just kind of talking on our break here about how celebrities have come out here and hung out. You've had Troy Gentry out here, you've had Mike Epps out here, Trace Atkins, all kinds of people that you know and love. So we want you to come out and experience this place, but I want you to hear a little bit more about what you can do. So, Jonna, tell me about First Step Recovery.
So, First Step Recovery Ranch is a nonprofit that we started up 4 years ago. We are with bluegrass.org, goodgiving.net, so you can go on there to donate or to give to help this program with kids. And it's not only kids, it's first responders and it's vets and it's anyone that has come out here. Also, you can go on Vimeo and look at our documentary that was made. Vimeo, it's called Healed by Horses.
No, it's fun. That was a fun one.
And when I go, I try not to do because then I'm thinking.
Do you want to start again? You want to do it
Yeah.
again? Ready?
Do you mind? No, that's okay. I started First Step Recovery Ranch 4 years ago, working with the juveniles, not only juveniles, but first responders and post-traumatic stress disorders, veterans that come out. So we have a nonprofit with bluegrass.org. I have a portfolio with goodgiving.net, so you can go on there and look at that and donate and support this program. Also, you can go to www.firststeprecovery.com to our website. We have PayPal that you can also support. We're not asking, anything would help to start this program. We really are looking for transportation for kids. We're looking for anyone that can support us for a climate control indoor arena so we can work in the hot heat and in winter conditions.
Sure. Well, and I've been out here through both of them, and I know it gets pretty cold out here and it gets pretty hot during the summertime. So I think what a lot of people don't realize, and we're in an age and a time where people see, I guess you see therapy dogs pretty much everywhere, but we can't walk a therapy horse around. As much as cool as it is, and as much as I'd love to just walk a horse around, I just can't do it. So, but you know that the police department supports you, and we're a firm believer, in this program and how you help juveniles, and of course police officers too. I don't think a lot of people realize just how much PTSD can affect other people, and I'm not going to give a diagnosis or anything like that, but I think that everybody has different ways of dealing with situations, and horses can help you. I truly believe that. So I think that's one way that we want to continue to work with you. We love bringing our summer camp kids out here to you. So how can other people get involved? Maybe if it's not monetarily, what can people do to support you out here?
Well, I'd like for you to call at First Step Recovery Ranch. Go on the website, give us a call, come out, see what we do, see how we help people. Look at the nature. It's beautiful land out here right on the river. It's historical to Daniel Boone, how it does make a difference.
Sure. Well, I mean, and Kentucky is a beautiful place.
Yes.
So if you have not ever been out here, this is your chance. This is your chance to come out and see something new if you've never seen it, just to come out and get some fresh air, take a break from, as you said, from the technology,
Yeah.
take a break from your busy life, come out and hang out with us. I personally don't get out here as much as I would like to, but you know, this is something that can benefit everybody. So Jonna, I want to thank you for coming out here with us. We're going to kind of wrap up here and do our segment on what we do with, you know, how to help our community out. But I want you to continue to reach out to us and be a part of things with us. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So as we close here, I want to make sure that we do our announcements that I always do for Beyond the Call. First thing is, we are going to put this on our Facebook page. We're going to put this on our Twitter page. WBON has this out there on their website, on their Facebook page, pretty much every social media thing that we have that we're going to put it out there on. That is not always monitored 24/7. So I know that a lot of people, if you have an issue, some people have reached out to us on Facebook. We will get back to you on the messages and the things that we do, but it is not monitored all the time. So if you have an emergency, make sure you call 911. If that will give you access to, you know, the Sheriff's Department, to the Richmond Police Department, to State Police, will send you to them, EMS, the Fire Department, whatever you may need. But just make sure that you call 911 if you have an emergency. If you have a non-emergency, I want to go ahead and give you our non-emergency number. That is 859-624-4776. And that will also put you through to our dispatch, who will give you access to all those same people just on a non-emergency level. So just make sure that you contact that, and we want to hear from you on Facebook and Twitter and all these places that we are on social media. Just make sure that you send it out there and understand that it's not monitored 24/7. Some of the things we have going on coming up, by the time this post, hopefully you'll be able to see it and get involved with it. We have Dunk-A-Cop coming up again. We have partnered with some new people this year. We're going to be moving that to EKU in front of Keene Johnson on April 18th. So that's going to be a fun day. That's a Thursday, and we're going to go from 2 to 7. So come out, throw a softball, dunk me, dunk the chief, you know, some other police officers. They're going to be out there. We're partnering again with Dunkin' Donuts, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and now we're partnering with Sigma Nu Fraternity so that we can help out the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So lots of things going on with that day. We have the Easter Extravaganza coming up on April 20th. So make sure you come out for that. Check the city's website so that you can go to that. That's richmond.ky.us. And that is the city's website so that you can come out and hang out, hunt Easter eggs, and hang out with kids there that way too. So as always, we appreciate our friends at WBON TV. My name is Lieutenant Josh Hale with the Richmond Police Department, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much.